It's Friday night in the A, and you know what that means. Kelly Price and Tori McElhaney coming at you on Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T.
New year, new beginnings, but maybe not for the Falcons. They looked very much like their 2023 selves on the eve of 2024 on Sunday, Tori.
Much to everyone's, I think, relative disappointment, too, after that pretty solid win against the Colts the week before.
That's what made it even harder.
Yeah.
With the loss, the Falcons are guaranteed a sixth straight sub-500 year, and if they don't win on Sunday, they miss the playoffs and wrap up a third straight 7-10 campaign. Let's huddle up about it, y'all.
Let's huddle up with Kelly and Tori on the world of Falcons football.
I think the part that's hardest for Falcons fans to stomach is just how much control the Falcons have lost. They were once in the driver's seat in this division race, no longer. They could have been in the driver's seat in this game in Chicago on Sunday after a promising opening drive, but that stalled out. And shortly after, the game itself really slipped away, really in all facets of this game. We'll get into the implications of Sunday's game from a staying alive perspective in a moment, but Tori, how do they kind of stop this out of control spiral?
So is it too much of a cop-out to say that I don't know? Because I truly don't. The team we saw beat the Colts was very different in almost every way than the one we saw lose to the Bears. Offensively, the Falcons had no trouble moving the ball against the Colts. Taylor Heineke connected with 9 different receivers in that game. He completed 10 passes total in Chicago. Defensively, the Falcons gave the Colts problems trying to run the ball against them. A week later, the Bears put up 21 points in the first half on this defense. Then there's special teams. Younghoe connected on field goal after field goal against Indy, and he missed 2 against Chicago. Everything felt like it was the opposite.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There was a lot of mathematical gymnastics going on this last week to figure out how the Falcons were staying alive in the playoff hunt. Now the wild card is out of reach, but because the Saints actually did something nice for the Falcons by walloping Tampa Bay, Atlanta remains a factor in the NFC South title race, which feels a little crazy to say out loud, but it's true. So Tori, break it down for the people. What needs to happen for them to get into the playoffs?
For the Falcons to be NFC South champions, 2 things need to happen. 1, the Falcons have to beat the Saints, and 2, the Panthers have to beat the Bucks. Those things happen simultaneously on Sunday, and the Falcons are going to the playoffs. Any other combination of game results doesn't give the Falcons that outcome. So if you're the Falcons, do what you can to beat the Saints and hope luck and the Panthers are on your side on Sunday too.
And as Bijan Robinson said, say a prayer that the Panthers win. If the Falcons want to win on Sunday and try to win this division before they can even think about winning a playoff game, there's a lot of stuff they got to fix. In the locker room on Sunday in Chicago, I asked a bunch of Falcons what they think they need to fix. A couple of answers: turnovers, explosive plays, not starting fast enough, not scoring enough. But that's the thing. There are so many things, and ultimately, can all of these be really filed under missed opportunities? Yes. Is there anything you think that they should be honing in on before this must-win finale?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and say turnovers, limiting turnovers and explosive plays too, but the thing that could be turned around in a week's time, I don't know if those 2 things can. But if I'm being honest, the Falcons are who they are at this point. Missed opportunities in the form of all the things that you just listed are realistically the things that have been plaguing the Falcons for the entire year. The only silver lining in that is there have been moments where the good has outweighed the not so good, and they win those games when that happens. That, and the Falcons have beaten the Saints already this year. They need to do it one more time, though, to keep hope alive.
Always hard to do that twice in a season. Well, we do know that one area the Falcons are consistent in, the pregame fashion statements. Time for Walking In, presented by Wells Fargo. Talk about a glow up. Liam McCullough going from Cracker Barrel hoodie to full Louis Vuitton outfit going on here. I love a versatile king. He's really making this look work for him.
Here's the thing. I love this fit. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I do miss the Cracker Barrel hoodie. It told a story, and we love a story here.
Speaking of kings, Cordero Patterson has been one of them this season with his fits. I mean, look at this number. All black, super slick. Your girl loves a coated jean. The ones I own are my favorite clothing items. I love the statement ice up top, colorful kicks, just a good vibe.
Yeah, this fit feels like a go-to fit, you know, a fit that you always have on the back burner when you need it.
Yes, very much a go-to. All right, next up, Younghoe's style, so classic. I really enjoy his consistency every week, even if it was an uncharacteristically not so consistent day for him on Sunday on the field. He and Liam kind of twinning with the brown coats here, but the sweater, the fancy pants, the dress shoes, giving stylish business trip.
If you know Kelly and I, you know that we love a statement coat, and even though this is just a light brown, it really adds something to the look, which I enjoy.
Finally, a fit of form and function for Keith Smith over here with the I'm on board with the cargo pants trend, but I am always on board with a leather jacket trend, and I am fully on board with this hat for a snow game.
Kelly's on board, and this to me is the perfect fit for this specific game. Keep the old top of the dome warm with the fuzzy hat and the style.
It's true.
Really high with the trusted leather jacket moment. We love it.
Yeah, if you keep your ears warm, you will be warm. All right, there were some fun fits in the locker room this past week. So like
Poor Zach
we saw
Harrison.
Here, Zach Harrison had to wear the Mizzou sweatshirt as a Ohio State alum that lost that game. But with college football title game, just moments away here, days away here, we had to ask the Dirty Birds which college teams they despise the most in our question of the week.
Do I hate the most? Gotta go college football team that I hate the most. Hate is a strong word.
Louisville, definitely. We all hate Louisville. Everybody know we hate Louisville. Go Big Blue.
I mean, Georgia Tech is up there. Never liked them.
But I really, really, really don't like Alabama.
You know where you're at, right? Yeah, I do. I know it, and I say it proudly.
I say when I'm playing,
Gotta be Florida State.
I ain't like Florida State that much.
You guys probably won't understand this, but I probably gotta go FAU. I'm from Georgia,
I hate Georgia. I hate Georgia Bulldogs.
but I like Florida. I'm a Florida Gator fan, and my family love Georgia. So
I went to Florida, so
Okay.
this is a great thing.
Okay.
Just became my favorite Falcon.
Not Florida, Auburn, or Georgia Tech, huh?
We beat up on those. We beat up on those kids, but Alabama, they stole one from me.
As mentioned there, I am a Florida Gator. Don't hold it against me, Georgia Bulldogs. But I agree with Van Jefferson and Kyle Pitts. I can never hate Georgia as much as I hate FSU. So I really did like the Orange Bowl result.
As a dog myself, UGA alum, I'm really happy that Georgia didn't get too much hate. I really do.
All right, well, coming up later in the show, not many one-year off-season acquisitions steal the hearts of a fan base in a season, but Calais Campbell has really done that, continuing to add his legacy on and off the field and hitting the dirty bird while doing it. I go in the nest with him later in the show.
And Tyler Algier had a special guest in attendance to see his longest career touchdown run. That story is coming up next on Rise Up Tonight.
Rise Up Tonight is presented by AT&T and brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bang. It's time to Rise Up Atlanta. Kelly and Tori are back on your home for Falcons football. Fox 5 Atlanta.
Technically, Tuesdays are off days for the Falcons, but most players take time to reinvest in Atlanta. We look back on one of the best moments of the season as we rise up for Atlanta, brought to you by Truist. We go back to November 7th for the annual Falcons Day of Giving. Tyler Algier stopped by Decula Middle School to meet Landon Beckham. Landon is battling cancer, and Tyler surprised him with 4 tickets to the home finale against Indy. Of course, that's when Tyler had his longest career touchdown run. Landon says he's never met an NFL player and was surprised at how big they are. And he even beat Tyler in a race, which is something those Colts chasing him can't say on that score. This week, after the loss in Chicago on AtlantaFalcons.com, Tori wrote about the inconsistency the Falcons have experienced at the quarterback position and how that's really affected this entire offense's inability to find consistency since Matt Ryan has left Atlanta. The details of why and how QB1 has become a revolving door are less important anymore than the fact that the QB carousel we're all taking a ride on at this point is getting a little exhausting.
If you watched our show last week, you know that my New Year's resolution for the Falcons was to get off the quarterback carousel that Kelly's talking about. And wouldn't you know it, the loss to Chicago was a microcosm of that point. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Falcons have to figure something out at the quarterback position this offseason. In the last 3 seasons, they've tried different things, giving a few different guys a shot, but the organization is not really at the place anymore to wait. 2024 is the year they have to find consistency at QB1.
I think a lot of people agree with that take. Well, coming up next, don't miss our regular season finale in the nest with none other than a future Hall of Famer on and off the field. Calais Campbell joins the show next on Rise Up Tonight.
It's almost game time, Falcons fans. When the Falcons sack the opposing QB at home, you'll score a BOGO free Big Zack snack meal the day after the game. Valid online only at Atlanta area stores. Welcome back to Rise Up Tonight. Let's head in the nest with Kelly, Tori, and this week's special guest, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Really excited to have a super special guest with us tonight, Calais Campbell, none other than the man himself. I just want to talk to you right now first about where this Falcons team is at going into this must-win season finale. Where's kind of everyone's head at in the facility right now?
We're actually pretty loose. I think Coach Smith does a really good job of kind of keeping us just understanding where we're at, and keeps us level-headed. He's a really good coach, and making sure that we understand, every episode's point is what it is, but all that matters is right now giving us our best effort, go out there and put ourselves in position and just seeing what happens. And he also is a little bit where he's, you never know, we might just get lucky. So, but that's kind of the feeling in the building. You can sense the energy where it's, we're just, let's just play one good ball game.
What's been your favorite moment of this season, if you can pick one?
There's a lot of good things that have happened. But I like seeing some of the young players develop. I was really hyped when Zach Harrison got his first sack, and then to follow it up the next week with a two-piece. It's just so cool to see his confidence grow. I always knew Jesse was a stud, but just to see him have the year he's been having, making those big plays, it's just been incredible to watch. Just seeing the young guys develop. This team is really a special team. I felt like there's a lot of really good guys that deserve, to win ball games and have a chance to be a champion. And so it is a special place. I think that it's trending in the right direction. I think there's a lot of getting better. A lot of guys learning what it takes to win. And I feel like this place is going to be something special, within the next couple of years. And who knows if we get in this year. But I think that definitely a lot of quality young players who can play this game at a high level, who are getting better each and every day. And I love seeing that. Just seeing the building that's taking place here.
You just talked about all these other people that did so many other things, but you also hit a huge milestone in that 100 career sacks. Thinking back to that, in that moment, how much did it mean for you to hit that?
It meant a lot. And
hit the Dirty Bird.
Oh yeah, the Dirty Bird was super cool. I love the game, right? I always have. And when I was a kid and I decided I wanted to be a defensive end, I realized that, that was an elite club that I would love to be a part of. And so it was so cool just finally getting there, because I worked hard for it. Then the Dirty Bird was super cool too. Because, I know I said it before, but I was a fan in '98, when it was created, and to be able to, play for this team and be able to do the Dirty Bird, that's just it's a surreal feeling.
Why do you think that fans gravitate so much towards you? You do that, and you obviously have won so many of their hearts just in one short season. Why do you think that is? I don't know why they gravitate towards me, but I do feel like this is a great fan base. It's a special place to play football. You see the stadium rocking, and just, the fans are so passionate. Even at the beginning of the year when we went to little pep rallies and different things, it was just, you could feel the energy. This fan base is strong. They love the team. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but, even when you don't win, they still show up and still give you a lot of love, and it's a really good feeling. And I feel like this is a really special fan base, and I'm happy to be a part of it. You also had the 100 sack give back campaign. I think it's $25,000 you've been kind of distributing throughout all teachers, schools, throughout all your 6 different stops. Why was it important for you to do that specifically when you hit that milestone?
Yeah, throughout my career, I had Darnell Dockett, one of my, great vets when I was a kid growing up in this game. And he told me, when you hit a milestone, you should reward yourself. And so I remember, I wanted to get a new car, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I, make a play, and reward myself. So, and then, get your first start, you reward yourself. Make your first Pro Bowl, you reward yourself. All the different milestones. And, I've done a lot of great things in this game, so I've done a lot of rewarding for myself. And so when I got my 100 sack, I wanted to do something different where I reward other people, And so I was trying to figure out, what would be the most impactful way. And so, you know, my 100% give back to teachers, I feel like it was the one that made the most sense because it helps just so many people, teachers, you know, who are, you know, doing a really good job in the classroom, you know, but going into their own pocket to try to, you know, provide and teach the kids the proper way. And I just feel like that's, you know, they shouldn't have to do that, you know, and so, you know, I want to do my part and help with that.
That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. I mean, that's incredible stuff.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
So last thing I'll ask, what's next for you?
That's a tough question, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, I still got to go through the process and see if I'm done playing football or not. You know, I don't know. That's definitely a process that, you know, takes time, and so we'll see. But, you know, I'm not guaranteed to, you know, to retire after this year. You know, I might, you know, feel the urge to go out here and do it one more time, but we'll see. I mean, it is tough because I don't want to suck. I don't want to go out there and be bad. So, you know, there is some level of like, you know, how do you know, retire on top, you know? But I also feel like I'm still playing, you know, pretty good football, you know, and can play at an elite level still and still have something to give to the game. So I gotta go through that process and just see. But when the time comes, you know, I consider doing some broadcasting. You know, I think that'd be fun. I'm gonna do some professional poker a little bit. You know. I do love that game as well. Been preparing for a few years, and I feel like I could be pretty good at that. And then some different business stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of options. I'm always gonna do the charity stuff. That's never going anywhere. But you know, I mean, I want to travel the world. I got, you know, so many things I want to do. It's not easy getting away from this game. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful game, and it's given me so much. And I've been playing since I was 6. You know, 6 turning 7. I mean, literally 30 years of football camps and 30 years of seasons. I'm 37, right? So I mean, I don't know anything else, you know. And so, but I do think that you know, the future is bright no matter what I do. But we'll see. You know, a lot of potential, a lot of different things I can do. But I will be, you know, just happy I got the chance to play this game and got to, you know, meet so many cool people, so many great teammates, coaches, the fan bases, you know, all the different people, that the staff that, you know, helped make this thing go. And I've developed some really good relationships, and you know, man, it's been a great journey.
Well, we've had a great journey talking with you today. Thanks so much for sitting down with us. Anyone who wants to catch the full conversation, head to fox5atlanta.com, and we'll be right back on Rise Up Tonight.
Hey Atlanta, this is Head Crack talking, and you watching Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T. Inspired by Arthur Smith's love for narratives, is Kelly and Tori's Hot Takes.
Yeah, we're just going to bury everything that happened last week, right?
We sure are. Under the inch of snow that we saw in Chicago.
Good call. Well, something I'm not going to bury is something that I learned from Calais Campbell this week. Arthur Blank made a very rare speech to the team before that Colts game, telling them you do better when you play loose and just have fun. So what did they do that Sunday? It looked like they played looser and had fun. And more importantly, they won the game. My take tonight, not so much a hot take as it is just editorial, maybe even a plea to this team. Listen to the boss. Do it again, play loose, play with passion, play like it's your last snap, as Taylor Heineke kind of always talks about, because really it very well could be for some of these guys and for this team as a whole this season. And we've seen when this team plays with its back against the ball the most, like out of the bye against the Saints, like after the Carolina game against the Colts, they've delivered, and wins are fun for all of us.
All right, so here I go. I'm at the point now where this segment has divulged into me being like, well, what do I have to lose? I'm shooting about 50% when it comes to these hot takes. So considering this may be the last one of the season, it's my hottest hot take yet. So here it goes. The Falcons win the NFC South title. They beat the Saints, and the Bucs lose to the Panthers. They're in. That's it. That's all I've got. So I guess we're to the point now where I'm just trying to speak things into existence on this show.
Scorching. I love it. I think that's the same sentiment this team really embracing going into that finale at the Superdome. Thank you guys so much for staying up late with us all season long, tonight as well. For Tori McElhaney, I'm Kelly Price. Happy New Year and good night.